Birkenhill was shrouded in an unnatural darkness. The stars had vanished, the moon cast no light. The people lived in perpetual twilight, their days blending into nights. Fear hung thick in the air. Shops closed early, and children were kept indoors. No one could remember when the darkness began, but it felt eternal. Lily, a young librarian, felt differently. The darkness intrigued her, and she was determined to uncover its source. Each day, Lily ventured deeper into the town's history, poring over ancient books. She believed that somewhere in those pages lay the answer to Birkenhill's plight. Her curiosity was not just a whim, it was a burning need to bring light back to her town. Little did she know she was about to stumble upon a secret that would change everything. Lily was not like the other residents of Birkenhill. Her days were spent in the dusty confines of the town library. Among the rows of ancient texts, she found solace and purpose. Her curiosity often led her to the oldest and most obscure sections of the library. It was in one such corner that she stumbled upon an old, leather-bound tome. The cover was worn, the title barely legible, The Curse of the Moon Goddess. Something about it called to her. The book spoke of a legend, one that had been forgotten by time. It told of a moon goddess who had blessed the town with light and prosperity, but when the people betrayed her, she cursed them with eternal darkness. The curse, it seemed, was tied to a hidden passage in the town's bell tower. She needed someone she could trust, someone who shared her sense of adventure. That person was Owen, her childhood friend. Owen listened intently as Lily recounted her discovery. The idea of a hidden passage in the bell tower intrigued him. He agreed to help her, and they made plans to explore the bell tower that very night. The bell tower stood at the heart of Birkenhill. Few dared to go near it, especially after dark. Armed with flashlights and a sense of purpose, they made their way to the tower. The entrance was locked, but Owen managed to pick the ancient lock with ease. They stepped inside, the air thick with dust and the scent of old stone. They began their search, looking for any sign of the hidden passage mentioned in the book. Hours passed, and they found nothing. But just as they were about to give up, Lily's flashlight caught something, a small, almost invisible seam in the wall. She pressed against it, and the wall shifted, revealing a narrow passage. With the hidden passage revealed, Lily and Owen felt a surge of adrenaline. The passage was narrow and dark, the air cooler than the rest of the tower. They moved cautiously, their flashlights illuminating the way. Each step echoed through the silence, heightening their sense of trepidation. The passage spiraled upward, leading them to a series of steep, winding stairs. The climb was arduous, their breaths growing heavy with exertion. But there was no turning back. The promise of uncovering the mystery spurred them on. At last, they reached the top. The passage opened into a small circular chamber. The walls were lined with ancient symbols, and in the center stood a trapdoor. They knew they were about to uncover something extraordinary. The trapdoor creaked as Lily and Owen lifted it, revealing a set of stone steps descending into darkness. A cold draft wafted up, carrying the scent of earth and age. They hesitated, the weight of their discovery pressing down on them. But there was no turning back now. The steps were steep and uneven, worn smooth by centuries of use. The air grew colder as they descended, their breath visible in the dim light of their flashlights. The silence was almost oppressive, broken only by the sound of their footsteps. At the bottom, they found themselves in a vast underground chamber. The walls were lined with more ancient symbols, glowing faintly in the darkness. In the center of the chamber stood a statue, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. Lily felt a sense of awe and fear as she approached the statue. She and Owen knew they had to make a choice, take the stones or find another way to lift the curse. As Lily and Owen stood before the statue, the weight of their decision bore down on them. The glowing stones in the statue's eyes were mesmerizing. They knew that removing the stones might end the darkness, but at what cost? Lily's mind raced, recalling the rituals described in the ancient tome. There was a way to lift the curse without taking the stones, an ancient ritual, one that required both courage and faith. She shared her thoughts with Owen, who nodded in agreement. They decided to attempt the ritual, knowing it was their best chance to save Birkenhill without invoking the goddess's wrath. They gathered the necessary items, a small bowl, water from the sacred spring, and a silver knife. The instructions were clear, but the process was fraught with danger. One wrong move, and they could be trapped in darkness forever. With everything in place, they began the ritual. The ritual was a delicate dance of words and actions. Lily and Owen moved in harmony, their voices rising and falling in unison. The glow from the statue's eyes intensified, casting long, flickering shadows. Lily poured the sacred water into the bowl, her hands steady despite the gravity of the moment. Owen held the silver knife, its blade catching the light from the glowing stones. Together, they completed the final steps, their voices reaching a crescendo. The air crackled with energy, and the ground beneath their feet seemed to hum with power. As they spoke the final words, a blinding light filled the chamber. The statue's eyes glowed brighter than ever. Then suddenly the light dimmed. The oppressive darkness that had plagued Birkenhill began to recede, replaced by a sense of calm and peace. Lily and Owen stood in awe, their faces illuminated by the gentle light. They had done it. The curse was lifted. With the curse lifted, the weight of their journey began to settle on Lily and Owen. The enormity of what they had achieved was almost overwhelming. They had ventured into the unknown, faced their fears and emerged victorious, but the experience had changed them. They were no longer just two friends on an adventure, they were the saviors of Birkenhill. They carefully replaced the items used in the ritual, ensuring everything was left as they had found it. The statue of the moon goddess now looked peaceful, her eyes no longer glowing with malevolent energy. The chamber seemed less foreboding, the ancient symbols on the walls now glowing softly as if in gratitude. They made their way back up the stone steps, the passage now feeling less ominous. As they emerged from the bell tower, they were greeted by the first light of dawn. The sky was clear, the stars twinkling brightly. The darkness that had enveloped Birkenhill was gone, replaced by a sense of hope and renewal. In the days that followed, Lily and Owen found themselves at the centre of the town's attention. They were hailed as heroes, their stories spreading like wildfire. But they remained humble, insisting that they had only done what was necessary to save their town. The legend of the moon goddess had become a part of their lives, a reminder of the power of belief and courage. The town of Birkenhill began to heal. The shops reopened, children played in the streets, and the air was filled with laughter and joy. The bell tower, once a place of fear and mystery, became a symbol of hope and resilience. The town held a celebration, honouring Lily and Owen for their bravery and determination. Lily returned to the library, her love for books and stories stronger than ever. She knew that there were still many secrets to uncover, many legends to explore. Owen, too, found a renewed sense of purpose. He and Lily remained close, their bond strengthened by the trials they had faced together. The curse of the moon goddess had been lifted, and Birkenhill was once again bathed in light. The town had come together, united by the belief that anything was possible with courage and determination. The legend of the moon goddess became a part of their history, a tale of darkness and light, betrayal and redemption. Lily and Owen's names were etched into the annals of the town's history, their story told and retold by generations. They had proven that even the darkest of times could be overcome with knowledge and bravery. The stars that now glittered in the night sky were a testament to their triumph. Birkenhill thrived, its people living in harmony with the legend that had once haunted them. The bell tower stood as a reminder of the past, its walls bearing witness to the courage of two young souls who had dared to challenge the unknown. The town had been saved, and its future was bright. As Lily and Owen looked up at the star-filled sky, they felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. They had faced the darkness and emerged victorious. The curse of the moon goddess was no more, and Birkenhill was forever changed.